Now, setting up our key levels for the weekly time frame, it's fairly simple as to what I previously did before. Every time I'd set up the levels for the weekly time frame. Now, we're not only going to be trading based off of the actual monthly key levels, because then we'd only get a trade maybe once or twice a month. So we use the weekly to actually add in other levels as well. So there's really two options on adding in the weekly key levels. It's the most simplest form of adding key levels, unlike the monthly per se. So you can actually add your levels with the Fibonacci retracement tool. So you would go from one level to the other level, or you can use your price, date, and range tool as well to go from one level to the other level. And simply all we're going to be doing is adding a horizontal line on the 50%. So as you can see on the price range tool, we have that 50% level right here. So this little arrow in the middle would be that 50%, and then obviously 50% on fibs. So I'm going to be using the Fibonacci retracement tool because it's a lot simpler, easier. What we're also going to be doing as well is also going to our coordinates here and kind of making it a little bit more even. So instead of 49.5, I'm going to put 500. Again, putting it at that even handle number. And then we're going to actually be going to style, and then we're going to be aligning on the bottom left hand side, and we're simply going to be putting weekly. Simply going to be putting weekly, and then the actual price itself, so 1.11500. And we're going to be doing this for the rest of the key levels. So as you can see, that's there on the left hand side of the actual screen, and we're not going to be adding any type of I guess you could say little outline to it. So now if we were to hop down to a lower time frame like the 4 hour here, we'd easily be able to see at all times that this is a weekly key level, as you can see, right? So now going back to the weekly, we're going to be doing this for pretty much every other level, so in between each level here. So we're going to go from the 50% on our Fibonacci retracement tool, and then adding that weekly key level here. Then again, you know, it's the same process. Weekly, bottom left, and then coordinates. I'm going to be doing 500 for this one as well. Right, again, the even handle number. Right, so now style weekly, and we're going to be putting the price as well, so 1.2500, and then we're going to be going from there. So now let's move our Fibonacci retracement tool to the next key level all the way up here, horizontal line, and then 50%. Let's go to coordinates, and again I'm going to be putting another 500 here as well. So now settings, style, weekly, and then the price is 1.29500. So now we have our weekly key levels in here as well. So once we actually have these levels placed, we're going to be looking for confluence at these levels. And again, you know, you always want to lock your more important levels as well here. So now we could see that we do have confluence with our first key level here. We have support and prices currently piercing through this weekly key level. And we also have confluence all throughout this range here, where price struggled to kind of trend in a sense and just consolidated at this level. Once we broke under, came back above, retested and rejected, and price continued to trade lower. Then looking at this key level here, of course, we do see confluence here as well. Here we have support, and here we have resistance. So it's almost right to the T, more or less, to say, right? So then our last key level would be all the way up here, which we do see price struggle at this level here as well. So this would be another key level there that would be fairly great. And again, we want to be using the even handle numbers. And the way you set up your key levels for the weekly and monthly time frames is pretty much going to be the same way you do it for every currency pair. The only thing that's going to be different is pretty much the pip range. So as you can see, from our monthly to monthly, we have about a 900 pip range, and from our monthly to our weekly, we have about a 500 pip range, more or less, right? So the way you set them up for every currency pair will be the same, but each currency pair is obviously going to have their own differences. For example, like GJ and Euro, of course GJ moves more, or the pip value is more. So Again, this is a fairly simple concept. Now we're going to be looking for price to actually struggle once price does reach one of these levels, which, you know, week after week after week after week after week, price struggled to break this level here. So now we could see price actually piercing through that level, and you know, by the end of the week we'll be able to tell if prices are going to continue to go down and make new lows. So you know, it really all comes down to your analysis when it comes to these levels. So you have to be very attentive to detail when trading these levels in specific. So now let's go down to like a 4-hour time frame. We can really see more or less kind of what's going on with price once it does come close to one of these levels. Now of course you have to remember that we set this on the weekly time frame, so if price breaks this on the 4-hour, it doesn't mean that it will continue to go down. You need to wait and see the weekly close, and you know, there's a couple of more things that go to it, right? But other than that, fairly simple concepts again in this specific video. So I'll be going over key levels for the daily and 4-hour time frame within the next couple of videos here.